Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over RLS versus MLS. The strength RLS has in this matchup are you have a lot of peels with a rogue and a lock fear covered by UA. Your damage is going to be fairly high throughout the match as well, as your Warlock dots as much as they can, as Shamans don't deal too well with multi-target healing. Anyone on their team is also a viable kill target, either from forcing blocks on the Mage, banishing the lock bat, or swapping on the Shaman. The weaknesses of RLS in this matchup are that your Shaman is very easy to kill for an MLS. He can drop in every deep, and every deep on the Shaman you should prioritise breaking the Mage's contact, and the Warlock too if possible. The Warlock doesn't bring a tremendous amount of burst, so you need to keep as much dotted as possible so your Rogue can swap around as he pleases. Wind Shear will be a 15-second cooldown, so they can get a lot of casts out outside of Spell Lock and Wind Shear. Pushing into boxes too much can put your Shaman in a really bad position both for CC and for a swap, so you should only do this if you're absolutely sure you're going to get a kill, or they're not going to be able to swap to your Shaman. Okay, let's get into the game. We're going to sap that lock as he runs in, and the Mage opens up with a polymorph onto our Shaman. We open up on the Mage with full dots and a garrote. I soul swap to the lock quite early to try and force Shamans to do as much healing as possible. The Mage is trying to pull us back into their boxes, so we just swap over to the Warlock. We redirect Kidney to him, and the Mage comes back out, so I keep dots rolling on him, and fear the Mage after he shatters me. My Rogue puts a blind onto their Shaman and forces his Trinket, while I force the Mages with a fear. I port and health stone so my Shaman can prioritise on healing my Rogue, who's also taking quite a bit of damage. Mage is sat at about half here, so we swap on over to him. I put full dots on the Warlock pet, so he may not notice for a while if the pet dies, or the Shaman will have to heal it and leave his partners. My Rogue trinkets are deep. I banish the lock pet so he can't CS me. My Rogue full kidneys the Mage. We use our first smoke bomb here, and the Mage instantly blocks it. So we swap on over to the Warlock, and I get a fear on the Mage out of his block. I then dot him off this, so that the Shaman can't dispel the fear. We then swap back on over to the Mage, and they try to swap on our Shaman by putting a Ring of Frost on his box and no-ring us that we won't be able to peel. I get full feared here, almost into the ring, but the ring fades before it hits, and the fear breaks to dot damage. The Mage pushes in quite far here and deep freezes our Shaman. To stop him doing any damage, I just coil him so that he can't global my Shaman. Our Shaman gets coiled here, and I get hexed, so I run round into his loss after he's back at the boxes for a dispel. And that Mage starts dropping really low, so they have to go defensive, and the Shaman's forced to spam heal him. I get full dots back up on the Mage, and I soul swap them to the Warlock to try and create as much pressure as possible. They're trying to kite us back to their boxes here, and it's okay at the moment, because they have no pressure and we have quite a bit. I put a banish onto the Warlock's pet for no CS. My Rogue gets deep frozen in the open, and I throw a full fear out onto their Warlock. We then redirect Kidney to the Warlock and swap on over to him. I howl the Mage and land a full fear on the Shaman here, which he'll be forced to tremor. The lock ports away and the Mage runs into the open, so we swap back on over to the Mage. The Mage fakes my CS and they start swapping to me hard, so I just port back before they get any pressure. My Rogue gets feared into the open and then deep frozen, but my Shaman dispels it and my Rogue step kicks the Mage before he can get the shatter off. I land a full fear onto their Warlock. Our Rogue uses Cloak of Shadows here, and they CS our Shaman. I run in to try and get Howl of Terror, but I get howled first. I trinket and fear the Warlock. I then get Ring of Frost in the middle of Ring of Frost, but it breaks to the dot damage first. I then fear the Warlock short, and then put a banish onto his pet to stop CS. The Mage keeps dropping low here, and the Shaman's forced to try and fake cast, but in the end he doesn't, he just picks up the Mage. I get spell locked there, but my Rogue redirects to the Shaman but gets deep before he lands the Kidney. He then lands the kidney as I Howl of Terror the Mage and the Lock to stop any peels, and the Lock will trinket and coil my Rogue. I keep full dots on the Mage, my Rogue opens up on him with a full cheap shot, and I soul swap over to the Shaman here. We force the Mage's second dice block here. I put a coil onto the Shaman here to try and stop Pelo, and we call for a swap on over to the Shaman. My Rogue then opens up on him with a Garrote, which he'll be forced to trinket, then full kidneys him while I Howl of Terror the Mage and the Lock to stop any peels. I put full dots on the Lock, but at this point it doesn't even matter because the Shaman's going to die before he can get out of the kidney shot. Thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, favourite and subscribe.